I think that artistic expression during a pandemic, during a war, or during difficult times in general is a way of marking history.
If I can just have a simple illustration instead of being bogged down in like data, flowcharts, and everything else, and it can tell a story or even just make people empathize with what's going on.
The question is whether art during a pandemic such as this can save lives. And I really believe that posters that appear on the street, in newspapers, that are ubiquitous, to really see projected on a building or, in their hands, images of hand washing, images of social distance that are aspirational, that are supportive, then yes, it really can make a difference. I've been thinking a lot about what took place culturally in response to the AIDS crisis in the 80s. I was really inspired to see the response from the artistic community, which of course was hit very hard. And artists and designers banded together to create really visual campaigns to bring attention to the issues. And they were in many ways quite successful, that it was a time that the art world really galvanized and got involved on a level that is pretty unprecedented, at least in my lifetime.
Amplifier's job is to amplify the most important movements of our time. So we initially thought, how can we start sourcing and creating enough art that we can literally help flatten the curve and save lives with public health and safety messaging? But then also immediately, how could we make imagery that could lift people's spirits? Because we were also looking at serious issues of mental health and well-being at risk with people being in quarantine, because I believe that art can create those signposts to a new future. And we see that with artists in the past and in all of the great movements that artists made those symbols that point to the future.
There is a certain stylistic nostalgia for what we call agitprop, which is essentially poster, public service announcements, if you will. And I think artists are turning to that vocabulary because it's familiar and it's effective. Just to say, I think that the question of symbol making right now is absolutely critical. Thinking about the peace sign or the raised fist, I think the mask absolutely does function that way. I'm thinking about the younger generation that really is inheriting this.
I believe in that power of the analog still, even in this digital time, because it just keeps being that reminder. It keeps being that compass on our refrigerator or on our wall or on our water bottle or in our window for our friends and our family and our neighbors to see. And I think when we see symbols like that over and over again, it reminds us what we're fighting for.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.